This treacherous affluence. What does its treachery consist of? Ah, my dear friend, this condition can smear you all over the pavement much faster than any other, if you only just approximate, that is, or if you deviate from the formula. As much as changing the steps of the formula around can lead you into a great catastrophe, much less perverting the formula itself. How do people usually behave in the condition of affluence? What do they have enough intuition for? Just imagine that the statistic breaks through the ceiling, for example. You had a monthly income of £10,000 and then £11,000 and all of a sudden £30,000. Life is a success. Yes, life is a success. So the first thing they do is throw together a corporate party, isn't it? On the Thames, on a large boat, all the staff aboard, with French women, don't you see? Now he's rich and he can afford it. And he mortgages a castle for himself, buys a car in credit, leases a lover. And so on and so forth. And he makes the first payment. And the first payment, he takes on new staff and he promises to pay them a lot. He hires someone and he could take money on credit out of foolishness, hoping that this would last forever. Certain that it would, you see, he's certain. I'm talking about a stupid person now. And what does he find out the coming week? There is no affluence. But he has got an immense amount of obligations, and people look at him expectantly because he promised a lot. Okay? The first step of affluence is economize. You throw a cloak over the money received. All this money falls on you. You have a huge income. The money is sitting there on the table, looking beautiful. Your staff come in. Boss, we see money. Can we imbibe the scent? Let's spend it. What do you tell them? You tell them, out to the garden. You're all free. You're all free, gentlemen. I can't help you go about your own business. They're discouraged. They'll ask you, but what about the bonus? And you say, naturally, you deserved a bonus. Go ask for it at the accounting department. But don't disturb me right now. I have truly important business to do. And they will scatter. They're not totally disappointed because they've been promised a bonus. You're being strict, but this strictness is needed to avoid being ruined by the condition. And the second step is, look here, pay off all debts, fulfill all your obligations. This says to pay off all bills. So at first you pay off the vital ones. You pay the rent, you pay what you promised the supplier a long time ago, you gather up absolutely any and all promissory notes that you've ever given to anyone, and you settle up. Here's where the affluence might be over for some people. Isn't that right? Right. There might not be enough money for everything. For everything, there might not be enough. So they pay off the bills that they've owed for the longest, and they pay them in full. There might be something left over. But if it's real and a true affluence, and if the person hasn't created large debts, then he will have a certain amount of money left over after he pays all the bills. So what is our step 3? Step 3 goes like this. Invest the remainder, the remaining finances, the money left over, in service facilities. Buy yourself equipment, buy something that will allow you to render the services. You're expanding your ability to produce. This is where you increase your material resources. What do you think? If you fully do the third step, how much money will you have left over? I think nil. Nil? It says invest the remainder in service facilities. Some people think that it says invest half of the remainder in service facilities. But that isn't the case. It says the remainder, and the money will run out. The staff come by and say, "But what about the corporate party? What about the Thames? French women are waiting already." Not in this condition. It's not possible yet. These first 3 steps are done like this. 1, 2, 3. You don't have to think. You don't have to think to economize. A load of money falls over you, you economize. Having economized, you look at the bills you have and you pay them, starting off with the first one. If you have money left over, you invest all of it in service facilities. And the 4th step, and the last, you have to discover, by observation, by direct observation, what caused the condition of affluence. In the text that you have in your folder, Mr. Hubbard delineated this law. The cause of affluence is still capable of causing it. So you have to ascertain the cause of the affluence. What was it that you or your staff did? What pedal did you press that made this statistic surge so sharply upwards? For example, one acquaintance of mine, a merchant, made 10 times more in one season than he usually did. Well, someone said. He got lucky. Lucky? Yeah. But other merchants in that same business sector went broke in the same season. Why? Because they didn't know where to purchase the merchandise. So, did he get lucky? Or did he buy the right merchandise at the right time? And what was it that he did to know that he had to buy the right merchandise at that time? How did this affluence start? When did he take the right action? You have to look to the very beginning, search out and collect all the documents, and look and keep looking until it becomes obvious. That's it. It shouldn't be through complex mental considerations. It should be really obvious. You collect the data. What did you do before you had this crazy affluence? What happened here and there? You look at the different aspects of the organization's life and all of a sudden you see it. You have to look and you will see. That's it. That's the cause of the affluence. Well, all right. After you saw it, you have to strengthen it. You put all the possible efforts into stepping on that pedal again, and you step on it as often as possible. And your affluence will fire off week after week after week. All of these 4 steps don't take a whole lot of analyzing. The first 3 are done quickly and mechanically. You economize, you pay off all the bills, you invest the money in service facilities, and the 4th step doesn't take a wise grey beard. It takes the ability to look. And you just go and look until you see. That's what people have to do. If you take a bucket of water and you pour it on a smart manager at night, a brilliant one, who knows the formula and knows how to apply it, pour it on him when he is drunk in bed, and you ask, "You're in affluence. What are you going to do?" He'll tell you, "Economize, pay off all the debts, invest the money in service facilities, and then inspect and discover what caused the affluence." Why? So it has to be in that vein. The person doesn't think in that condition, he acts with great precision, otherwise he will have problems. I understood the treachery of affluence. The treachery lies in the fact that just you try and throw out one of the steps. For example, if you didn't economize and you squandered all your money, life will send you into the gutter. You economize, but you didn't pay off all your debts, but invested the money in service facilities instead. A creditor will come to you and say, "What's the idea not paying off all your debts?" And you're not going to have arguments to back it up. In emergency, you did have arguments. "Hey guys, I don't have any profit." But now you did, at this point, where you intended to pay off your debts to them. Also, you might have problems with your competitors. They could create the problems for you. Because there will be nothing else, there is no other condition where you need to pay off your debts. It's at this precise point that the most clever and the bravest of people pay off their debts, and then just try to pay off the debts and not invest the money in service facilities? Well, possibly you will have to create other conditions of affluence or make it happen once again. But if you have money left over and you didn't invest it in service facilities, then you haven't capitalized on the opportunity, and that later you might not have the chance to buy the service facilities. And you may end up with under-earned profit, and without finding out what caused the affluence, you're just not going to see it again. So it would be silly not to do the fourth step. You saw one peak and stopped at that point, and then you wait for fate, or the moment when the sun enters the constellation of the goat or some other such situation, or for God Almighty to bring you luck, and for the black cat not to cross your road, or for some stroke of luck to give you another affluence. You see, that's what primitive people in backward nations do. But you and I are civilized modern gentlemen, and what we need to do is carry out these 4 steps. And as a result, you will find yourself in the condition of power. So, good heavens! That's the way it is. That's power. And power is the highest condition, and that's where we aspire to get to. But it has its own formula.